This morning, I was back in the office. The first time in a few days that I've actually shot from the office itself. But yeah, today was the first day where I was back in the office with my stack of books that I've been sort of researching from. You can see, I think, right there in the corner behind the desktop monitor there. So, yeah, I was back and really just, again, going through really my first chapters and trying to make corrections. I mentioned yesterday that I'm starting to make a little bit of progress here, and today was just a lot of scratching. I've talked before about the idea of scratching, about the sort of the aspect of trying to find just that one little thing, right? It's like the analogy of like the scratch ticket, where you have to sort of take that penny and just start scraping away at the foil there to see what the numbers are. It's the same thing with writing. When you have a good idea, this one creative little spark, this one notion of what potentially your story could become, you have to start scratching, just to start taking that metaphorical penny and just start looking into it, just start digging a little bit deeper and start trying it out. A lot of the practical aspect of scratching is just trying out small changes, just testing the waters. For me today, that was opening up a new document and then copying and pasting over a few sections that I wanted to that I thought were strong, and then writing in new sections in between them. So basically, I would take a couple paragraphs here and there, copy and paste them over into a new document, and then start writing new paragraphs in between to try and connect them and sort of exploring different areas. One of the things that I'm doing in this section here is I'm exploring more of the dynamics right now between my character and his cousin. So before, in this prior section, it was more or less just a throwaway section where the main character was talking to just this kind of random guy, I guess, in a bar after having a bad show. And kind of just lamenting, right? It's sort of like that scene, like in the original Rocky movie there, where Rocky's at the bar and he's watching Apollo Creed on like the television above the bar, and he's kind of talking about how he's supposed to be a fighter, not some bum and all that. Kind of the same scene that I was doing here, a little bit different, but it was missing something. It was part of the greater sort of flaw with the whole thing, with how I was sort of presenting this town and the characters in it. And so I just went through and I started basically putting in new sections that were, or just new paragraphs that were kind of exploring different things. I was putting in the new descriptions of the town. I was putting in new descriptions of the bar and the characters there, and putting in more of just the general, really just changing kind of the vibe. It's kind of the less woe is me, kind of like I'm sort of down on my luck type of thing, and more of a basically my character just being a bit more passive in that moment and just experiencing the world, I guess, around him. It's a start. It's not really where it needs to be at by any means, but it's a start. Again, it's a bit of a scratch, right? It's getting that first number off the lot, off that scratch ticket there. That first number there, that might be the winner. That might be the one that matches up with the winning numbers, or you had a line 3 numbers up, whatever. It's the first one. It's that first sort of number that you're seeing, and now I gotta keep going further. I gotta keep exploring more of this and seeing what the scene can become. And yeah, at some point, maybe I'll do a video where I'll actually show sort of a comparison there, like a compare and contrast, like what my scene originally looked like and what it looked like now. I might do that at some point. But for now, it's going to be, at least for the next probably few days, just a lot more scratching, just a lot more of just filing away at that foil and trying to find that one thing that's maybe going to make the scene better. And it might turn out that maybe there's not one thing. Maybe it's just making a bunch of small little changes and small little adjustments that are gonna just add up to making this whole chapter that I'm working on right now much better than it was before. It's gonna turn it into something much more fantastic. That's certainly my hope. So with that, gonna be going back through that again tomorrow, and yeah, if I can have just one chapter, just this one chapter, basically revised by like the start of next week, I will be very very happy. So, fingers crossed for that, and let's see what happens.